All right. So this is gonna be like kind of like a different my experience video a little bit, since it's gonna be talking about like a comic dub of a story that was created by Loverofpiggies slash cayronqueen. Sorry, it's just the name is a little funny. I like the name, but so we're gonna talk about like this. Like by the way, Dion 06's dub of this is really good. It is literally the entire comic. So I highly recommend you watch this video. Also, I do have the link in the description for the original story, like and slash like her Tumblr page in the description of this video, because this is a really good story that I just want to talk about for a little bit. I don't want to spoil like the entire story slash talk about the entire story. I'll talk about bits and pieces, so there might be spoilers in this video anyway for this story, but I just want to talk about it for like a little bit, kind of get you guys up to speed about, this, how I discovered it, how I found it last night, all that stuff. All right. So with that little I hate saying words sometimes. Without further ado, let's get into this. So I remember watching this. Okay, I remember I was scrolling through YouTube last night, and because I usually do scroll through YouTube since I don't really, you know, socialize, go hang out, go do things with my friends, like Ronnie or somebody. Since I don't do that a lot these days, I usually just keep it chill. Try to find something to watch on YouTube that will genuinely like kind of keep my interest, because as of yesterday as well, like it was really hard for me to like kind of read or kind of focus on a lot of other things that isn't like just in general. It was kind of hard for me to like kind of focus on doing recording stuff. Kind of hard to focus on doing a lot of other things. So I'm trying to find something on YouTube to pass the time. And for a while, I was watching some like Deltarune stuff, Undertale stuff, or not Undertale stuff, just watching random YouTube videos, YouTube shorts, all that stuff, right? Until I stumbled upon a comic dub by Dion 06 called Aftertale. Now, I already know who Geno Sans is. To quickly sum up his character, uh, for you guys, and you guys probably don't know who Geno Sans is, and I would have to probably go into explain mode about that. Geno Sans is basically a character, and this kind of goes into the story, but the whole story of this is about Geno Sans, and regular Sans, and all that other sort of stuff. Kind of, it's like a story of both of the characters, but Geno Sans is basically Sans that has been through multiple genocide routes, uh, aka multiple bad routes of Undertale, multiple times, hundreds upon hundreds of times. Tristan, what's good? How you doing? Demetris, what's good? How you doing? And Ayoda, what's up? Gabino the Bean. I'm talking about Aftertale, so if you guys want to know, like Aftertale, like the story, the comic dub of Aftertale, slash the comic of Aftertale. So, an Undertale AU for a little bit, just for a little bit. But anyway, so yeah, he's been through tons of bad timelines over and over and over again, and he really wanted to defeat the humans, so he took a little bit of the determination and stuff, and kind of effed over his own body and stuff, and it also kind of made him went bad shit insane. And well, not bad shit insane, like too insane to the point. He still has like reasons, but he's basically heavily. I don't know the right words, okay, but basically, Geno Sans is the Sans that went through so much shit, so much over time, that he is a little bit, not only a little bit, but he's very unstable. Like half his face is completely melting off. He's wearing Papyrus's scarf. His jacket's completely white. His pants are still, his shorts are still the same color. But anyways, it's a whole thing, right? Never read Aftertale, but I played the games. Oh, you never read Aftertale? By the way, Aftertale is not like an official thing by Toby Fox or anything. It is a fan creation, so keep that in mind, okay? When you go into the story. But anyway, so other than Geno Sans, right? Sans is basically just living his normal everyday life until he keeps on getting like his nightmares, okay? Because basically, as you guys know, like regular Sans or boy Sans, right? He doesn't have like it's kind of weird because basically he's a pseudo sort of kind of traveler, like of time a little bit in a lot of weird ways because every time the game resets, he has some type of knowledge about the game resetting, like everybody coming back to life and the pirates coming back to life. So he has like some sort of idea if the player like resets, over and over. Uh, but you get it, right? He has like some sort of knowledge, and he kind of knows when somebody's about to reset or somebody's about to do a new route. So yeah, he has a lot of like trauma due to people like the player's curiosity in terms of the genocide route, or he loves his life which is pacifist, or it's just like a neutral route or something where it's like he kills some monsters, doesn't kill monsters. Anyways, so within his nightmares slash dreams, he slowly starts seeing like Papyrus's death over and over again, Undyne's death, and a lot of his other friends' deaths like over and over and over again a little bit, and that kind of gets him a little fucked up, and Papyrus has to kind of keep him calm a little bit. Yeah, these comic dubs also go like kind of more deep into like Sans' character in terms of like his trauma slash why he's the way he is. So keep that in mind. More than probably the game, but then again, it is their interpretation of Sans, not like Toby Fox's interpretation of Sans. But that's a here or there. But anyway, so other than his regular Sans' nightmares being like the usual stuff, it kind of got like a little bit different because of the fact that Geno Sans kind of warped him to a different sort of dreamlike reality, sort of talked to him about his plan, right? Of, ending the human for good, right? And I'm kind of summing it up. So like that way, we're not here for like 2 hours explaining every little detail of the story, right? So like I mentioned, right? Like Geno Sans sends Sans into this dreamy like state, and basically they talk about like what the hell is this place that I'm in, slash what is going on, like how are you here, and all that other sort of shit. And Geno Sans basically explains to him that yeah, I've basically been through hell and back constantly, like 24/7. I'm also taking care of this little glitched out Frisk over here. Oh, and also a big part of the story is, for example, right, let me explain the human side of it, aka not the Sans perspective side of it. Basically, this story is all about like Chara possessing Frisk and basically murdering everyone over and over again. But at the same time, like at first it was Frisk that kind of agreed with Chara to murk everybody over and over and over and over and over again. But then after a while, like Kara's like, feelings of revenge and resentment kind of took over Frisk, and Frisk kind of got kicked out of his own body, which is why he's like stuck in this void with Geno Sans. And Geno Sans got there because of after trying to warp out, he got locked out into the. And by the way, the void is like the save screen, the save slash the where you continue slash reset your game file data is. That's where basically they're at. That's their Undertale's version of the void. And that's to explain Frisk. Frisk has been chilling with Geno Sans like that whole fucking period of time while they were both there. And apparently Frisk has been there way longer than Geno Sans has. So it's kind of weird how Geno Sans is kind of keeping like little Frisk company in that little void ass spot, while sometimes Geno Sans and regular Sans go talk about like serious business, how Geno Sans wants to, because his goal, Geno Sans anyway, in this story, is to wipe out that universe forever. All right, so that way Frisk slash Chara can never come back, and what is it? And what is it? Just completely wipe the universe, like completely. The slate is clean. Okay, and that way Net Papyrus and everybody can never be hurt again. And apparently Geno Sans had this conversation with multiple different Sanses. Like, I'm talking hundreds of different Sanses he's already had this conversation with, apparently. And yes, this is spoiler alert, so if you want to go read the story, I suggest you read the story now. It probably is probably better than this video, but you get it, right? I mean, it is better than this video. Of course it's going to be. But anyways, hearing that Geno Sands wants to completely wipe the universe clean, that way Papyrus doesn't get hurt ever again, that way he doesn't have to witness that shit every single goddamn time again as well, just so he can, it's kind of a crazy plan. And Sands over here is like, Jesus fuck, Geno, we can't do that, because way later on, or earlier on, or way later on in the story, he also kind of gets to know, like, Frisk, like, hey, Frisk didn't want to do this for so long. He tried to understand Frisk's side of things, and he does understand Frisk's side of things. And also, this Sans right here, like, apparently out of all the other Sanses he's talked to, instead of trying to figure out his own way, he decides to not only, like, help Geno Sans, but also, like, help himself and Frisk, like, Frisk get his own body back, and help Geno Sans actually get out of the void, right? And basically, Sans, throughout this regular Sans, spends most of this story trying to not only help Geno Sans, but obviously, that has to be revealed to regular Sans after a while, because basically Geno Sans kind of lied to Sans throughout the story about, like, his intentions. And, with our boy Sans, he's kind of a little pissed about that and whatever, and the whole thing. And basically, it gets a little complicated, and I remember last night when I was watching / reading this story, because I was just fucking hooked, because as you guys know, I love Undertale, I love Deltarune a lot, so I try to find, like, a lot of comic dubs, and every single time I try to find a fucking comic dub of these stories, a lot of them are either unfinished, or the uploader just hasn't, the person who made the comic dub in the first place just is completely unaware. Maybe the story's already finished and the comic dubber is just not even doing YouTube anymore, or they didn't get the finished story out there when, the comic dubber wanted to make the shit. So it kind of sucks, but hearing that Aftertale is a complete story in just 2 hours, fucking awesome for me. But then again, as I was saying, it is an honest to God, like, really good story about, like, Geno Sans and regular Sans. And I love how in this story, this Sans, out of all the other ones Geno Sans talked to, actually came back for him, and helped him out, even after hearing about his crazy plans and what he wanted to do and all that other sort of stuff. And I really do love the ending of this story, which I don't know if I want to spoil or not, since I kind of already spoiled, like, a lot of the major plot points in this little sort of review of the story here. And I know I'm hella late to this story, but it's mainly because I'm just getting into the AUs of Undertale / Deltarune. So, like, a lot of my I'm basically a new fan, so I'm just kind of slowly getting into all this other sort of stuff, like the fan stories and the comic dubs and whatnot, and so on and so forth. Your name, bro, Dick Slapping O's, is crazy. Thank you for donating $1. I appreciate it. I was completely thrown off by that name, bro. But with all seriousness, right, about this story, other than, like, the ending and how we get there, it is so good. It is such a good story that I highly recommend. No problem. But I don't want to, like, spoil the whole story, so I'm probably going to end it, like, right here. But, guys, I have the link to the Tumblr story in the description. And if you want, like, the original, like, comic dub that I watched it from, like, the whole 2-hour comic dub, if you guys enjoy comic dubs and stuff, I highly recommend you watch this video. Here, I'll even put it up on screen again. Dion06 from 4 years ago, Aftertale comic dub the movie, right? Just go to this channel, type it in, Aftertale comic dub the movie, and find one by Dion06 or 06, I don't know. And watch this comic dub. I feel like it's very important y'all watch this so y'all can get better context in this review, to just check it out, man. Because honestly, this is a really good story, and I didn't think I was going to be hooked on this Undertale story, since, keep in mind, right, I do get hooked in a lot of Undertale stories, but at the same time, a lot of them are really good. Like, it's weird, because a lot of them are just pretty good, or a lot of them are just okay, but then there's also quite a few that, like, extremely hooked me right away. And this is one of those stories that really hooked me right away to the point I wanted to make a video about this. And I'm also going to try my best to make more videos that are dedicated to comic dubs of Undertale so I can like shout them out and kind of, get y'all to go watch them and shit. If you are a fan of Undertale anyway, you should check that out. Doug Bowser said he's retiring December 31st. I heard about that. That was crazy, which we might have to make a vlog after this, just kind of chilling out, and I'll maybe bring that up as like a thing of discussion. But anyways, like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share the video with your friends. If you guys enjoyed my review of Aftertale, please go check it out. Again, link in the description to their Tumblr page, the creator of this story's Tumblr page, so you guys can read the entire comic, without some type of thing, without somebody dubbing over it or something. If you want the authentic original version, or again, I might go and get that video link too, and I'll also put it in the description as well if you guys just want to listen to it as like a comic dub, since I know there's a lot of people out there that love like reading stuff, and then there's also a lot of people that love like listening to stuff, and I'm more of the guy that loves listen. I mean, I do love reading every now and again. Well, I don't love reading. It's my journey on reading is kind of complicated because I like it, but I don't like it as much as maybe like listening to a story, like hearing it, like like those audiobooks. Anyways, I'll see y'all in a little bit. Just bleh.